Right, hello guys, watching Geek Sam. We're able to watch Stranger Things Season 4. We've talked about Season 1 to 3 already, so check it out on the channel if you haven't already. And we'll talk about the final series next week. But yeah, Season 4 today. I'm new to this universe, first time watching, so I'm giving it my honest opinions and reviews. But I have to say, the Series 1 and 2 was so good, and the drop for Series 3, it really was like, oh no, where are we going with this? I'm not enjoying it. And then Series 4 happened. It's boosted us right back on track, in my opinion. It's like it goes whoop, and then and now it's just dropped back up to where we were before. I really thought this was an improvement. But also, there's some stuff we need to talk about and try and get into the characters a bit. But we got some new characters as well. But yeah, first off, the camera angles and the movie design, I guess you could say. I really noticed that at the start of the series. I thought that really worked quite well. The camera angles were pretty cool. I just wanted to briefly mention that because I don't talk about that stuff, but in this, the visuals with the camera and stuff, I noticed and I thought it was good. Anyway, another thing I noticed was the villain. Now, I don't know Vecna, the human name. I don't even know if I've got Vecna right. It's easy just for him to be called One, so thankfully he's One, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But I'm going to call him One because it's easy for me to remember. One reminded me of Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street sort of vibes for the first 4 to 5 episodes. He had that Freddy Krueger vibes, going inside their heads, doing all this and that, but in the real life, twisting their bodies and stuff. It was gruesome. It was way more gruesome than Nightmare on Elm Street, but like that sort of vibe he gave me through the first 5 episodes. So I just wanted to mention that because that's the vibe that it was getting me. I don't know that's the vibe they were trying to go for, but that's what hit me. So now I think we're going to some of the less interesting stuff I find. Will, Mike, and Jonathan, the twat. I don't like him. I hate him. He's the worst one. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh. And every time he gets with Nancy, I'm like, oh, you should have gone with Steve. I'm really a bad hater on him. I'm sorry. I just can't stand his character. And he's a creep in Series 1 with the camera. Anyway, that being said, he's just a stoner. He's moping over Nancy. And he gets to see Nancy at the end. That's his character. Done. Good. Cool. Did nothing. Mike didn't really do anything. I know Will was like, you're the heart of the team, you're this, you're that. He did his speech to get Elle pumped up and fighting, yeah, but he still hasn't done anything since Series 1. Will, what are we doing with him? Like, he was a leader, he was the team group, he did things, and now he's just not doing hardly anything. It was cool that Will and Mike did go to Justin's girlfriend, and we saw how she was vibed, and her father didn't approve of Justin and stuff. So that was kind of cool, and she helped out a little bit there with a cameo. So that was that. Obviously, Mike gets to see Eleven again. He pumps her up. He tries to help her with the pizza place. With the that was cool, but they still didn't really do much. And I was like, when it kept cutting to them, I was like, oh, I forgot they were in this series because they didn't do anything. So when they're in the car, and he's like, you're the heart of the team. I was like, oh, I forgot you guys were in this show. And yeah, I think that they're indicating that Will fancies Mike. I don't know. Is that what's happening there? Anyway, that being said, I might be wrong with that, and people might hate me for that one. But that's what I'm getting the vibe off, because they're obviously indicating he's gay, Will is, and he might have a crush on his best friend. I don't know. Anyway, that's the vibe. Let's go to another one. So, Hopper. Hopper's alive. I was like, well, we didn't see his body last series, but they heavily hinted he was dead. So I went for that vibe, and I was like, oh man. But I didn't like how they wrote Hopper in the last series. In this, they improved it. They got so much better, and it's like, yes. But Hopper went through so much pain in that Russian prison, man. I felt so bad for him. And then we find out the Demogorgons, are they? The monsters that are connected to One in, like, their hive mind and stuff. They feel what the bad guy feels, and they're connected. That sort of thing. They were in the Russian prisons. The Russians still doing stuff with them. The Russian stuff isn't over yet. I guess this plot isn't. Also, We break Hopper out with, I'm going to have to say the mom because I don't know her name. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's Joyce, but I don't want to 100% put my money on that. So I'm going to just call her the mom. And we have that other guy who helps the mom out quite a lot. And break Hopper out of prison. But then we need to go back into prison to stop the monsters because they're in a hive mind, and then we can stop them. We can help the kids because we have no chance of getting to the kids in time. So we might as well try to do something here while we're in the Russian prison. So they go out of prison, they come back. And then they finally get to the group at the end of the series. And 11 finally knows he's alive and keeps the door 3 inches. I thought that was really cool. They're all together now. Let's go, Avengers Assemble, for the final series when that's going to happen. But yeah, I did feel so bad for Harper, man. He went through so much, and the breaking of his foot and trying to do these stuff. Oh, it was horrific. It really was. But he's a great character, and they've really written him better than what Series 3 did to him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my review for that. But anyway, so that's their characters done. Let's get on to the main lot now. Nancy has a geeky friend. We have Chrissy Wake Up and Eddie. So we have new character. And Eddie, I feel so bad for. I was also, like, because he's such a popular character, before I've even seen this show, he's one of the pinnacle ones that everyone keeps talking about. I didn't know he dies, which was great. That didn't get spoiled for me. But obviously, Eddie gets the blame for Chrissy's death. And then he gets the blame for the geeky guy, even though one's the one that's killing them in his realm and stuff. But anyway, and the Upside Down, I guess. We'll get onto that in a minute, the Upside Down and the law. But yeah, I felt bad for Eddie, and he did help out at the end with Justin, and their brotherly connection was pretty cool with the Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. But yeah, overall, he gets the blame for the deaths, and then he dies, so he's off as a missing person from what happens at the end of the series. It's like, it's a tragedy. It really is, but he was a weird, wacky character as well. So yeah. Next up is Lucas. He want to be with the cool kids. Yeah. And the cool kids are twats. That guy, when he's beating Lucas and he's grabbing while Max is like possessed. I get where he's coming from, but I was like, Lucas, we're gonna have him. I was literally like, come on, Lucas, have him. And he did. And I was like, yes. And then when it ripped through him, I was like, yes, when the crack, because I was like, oh crap, they're actually doing that. And then the guy just gets ripped in half, and I'm like, yes. So that was great. I loved that. But because he was a twat, I didn't like him. I get he was Chrissy, I know all that. And he wants to kill Eddie and stuff. But, Lucas, yet again, want to be the cool kids, realise he's one of us, and that, and obviously helping Max, but yet again, hasn't really done anything the whole show, in my opinion, that much. To be fair, there's a big group of characters, so what can you do? Max has a lot of problems from Billy dying from the last series and dealing with that death, but I did like that they brought Billy back, her brother. I think that's the right character's name because I'm new to this universe. Her brother that she wished was dead and actually dies, and she feels guilty for that, so she wants to be punished. That was so dark, but very well done. And Max as a character is really flushed out, really done well. I really enjoy her character. And the music of this series, music playing a big thing, because words can do so much, but music can really hit home and make you in the zone and stuff. I thought that was really cool. It like blocked out the villain from being able to get to her. So that was really well done. And I did like that from that series. Also, 11. So her arc with Popper, and Popper dies. And them trying to manipulate her, the government after her, and them trying to kill everyone she knows, and certain people dying to try and get to 11. That's crazy. And obviously, yeah, she needs to be hidden because a lot of people are afraid of her. A lot of people want to use her. She's, but we've learnt 11's origins, that actually, when she was taken from her mother, she was number 11. And number 1 was this big thing of basically he killed his family, and that Popper took him and thought he could use him to his potential because he has powers, and he couldn't control him. So he cloned and cloned and cloned. Like, he used other people, and eventually we got more than 11. And it turned out they wanted to bully 11, And Eleven's been bullied quite a lot this series because at the start of the series, when she's in hiding, I think it's Jane or Jade, which I think what her mother called her. So that's a cool connection there. It all links together. But like obviously, her getting bullied and then not telling Mike about the bullying and stuff was gruesome. And then when it turns out she was getting bullied in this like where Popper is with this asylum thing, and it was crazy. And it's like, oh, but 11 and 1 head to head, and it turns out 11 kind of did this to 1, and that made him be gone and turn into the look that he is. And that whole origin was really interesting, really cool. Obviously, him wanting to use 11 and be together as one and rule everything. 11 decided no, but her memory got wiped, and now she fully has it. But you know, that whole thing was really interesting. How our main villain got made. We finally learnt the origins of that, and I did think that was very cool. And you had to pay attention. You couldn't just be listening and being on your phone. You had to drop your phone and watch and listen and take in every bit of nugget and information because it was interesting. And it wasn't just the origins of 11, but the origins of 1. So yeah, and why how he comes to be, and then he shows Nancy the goals of what he wants to do, and it actually kind of happens at the end of the series, which is crazy. So yeah, next up is Robin and Steve. Now Steve, I just love them. They're just my favourites. They help out when they can. They've got so much comic relief, and Steve just wants the best for Robin with that love dynamic. And Robin's trying to give a wingman to Steve to get Nancy. He doesn't deserve Nancy. Doesn't deserve Steve, but Nancy definitely needs to get rid of that other twat. But Steve, right? He's just one of my faves. And when he's getting eaten, I'm like, no, don't kill Steve. And I'm just like, oh, thank God the bats didn't kill Steve. And then when they're all choking, I'm like, okay, just don't kill Steve. It was literally like that the whole way through the show. And I just love Robin. I think she's great and just wow. I think they're they're just a funny couple. They're friends that I just hit hard. I love it. Now on to the main group. They've been trying to help throughout the whole show, trying to take down the villain. But they've got these all cool, interesting connections, and they all come together quite well. Obviously, they're kind of separate, with Justin being separate again and stuff like that, with also having him being embedded in the story eventually as well, with like Eddie and stuff. So we've got Justin doing well as well, I guess. I haven't got much else to say on that, but Erica's been playing a hardcore moment. Lucas's sister, little sister, she's been helping out a lot, and I think, yeah, she's a solid character. I mean, she's growing on me as a character. I think she is one of the main characters now, I feel like. So that's cool. And yeah, well, as a plot, we've defeated the villain with the cool music. Hopper chopping off that monster's head and getting flamethrowered and all that. And then obviously Nancy, Robin, and Steve throwing all that fire on our main bad guy was really cool, and the gun sort of vibe, that was decent. And 11 going power in the mind against the villain as well, and saying, "This is not. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's the end, but it's not. It's not just the end yet. Like, yeah, I'll be back, sort of vibe, and like, you may have beat me for now, but I'm coming back, and this is gonna be the end. You know, sort of vibe. And yeah, I'm gonna have to rank this out of 10 now. 8 out of 10. Another 8 out of 10. So yeah, like I said, massive step up from series 3. 8 out of 10 show at the minute. Really is solid. Only one series not doing well for me. Really good. And I'm very interested to see where we all end off next time on the final series. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I haven't talked about, but the episodes are like an hour and a half long to 2 hours and some and more. Like, there's a lot. So I can't remember and talk about everything, but I can say I'm just enjoying it and taking everything in as best as I can and trying to remember the characters' names. So as a new person to the the world. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll talk about the final series next time, so stay tuned for that. And of course, you've been watching the Geeks Assemble, so we definitely talk about Marvel, Doctor Who, Star Wars, DC, you name it. Real space to be for a geek like me, so join and subscribe. See you guys in another video soon. Have a nice day.